Let's jump into problem 19.2a. We're looking at a lease liability on a finance type lease and just measuring it and calculating it essentially. So this is a finance question. It's a present value question. Let's read through it. Selkirk Printworks, a commercial printing company, leased a printing press on the following terms. It's a commercial printing press. We're leasing commencing January 1st, 2031. The lease term is 5 years, $20,000 annual payments. Payments are due starting due each January 1st, starting today, January 1st, 2031. Now, this is the thing that will screw students up. Let me draw a number line here. So we are doing 5 years worth of $20,000 payments. So $20,000 today. This is times zero. After 1 year, we make another $20,000 payment, but we're paying in advance, right? So this is called an annuity due. Time 2, 20,000, time 3, 20,000, 4, 20,000. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, we made 5 payments, 3, 4, and we use the asset until the end of the year. Now that's unusual. Normally, when we look at present value cash flows, our payments come in at the end of the year. Here, our payments are going out at the beginning of the year. And as a consequence, when I do present value, I need to do the present value on this one, this one, this one, and this one. I don't need to do the present value on that one because it's already today. It happens on day one. So it's a little bit quirky in terms of the math, but it's just annuity due, if you remember what those are from previous chapters. Okay. The remaining life is 6 years. The fair value of the press is 105 and the discount rate is 8%. Okay, so show why this is a finance lease. Okay, first question is, did title transfer? And it's certainly unclear here. So under the absence of information, we're going to say no. Step 2, is there a bargain purchase option? They don't discuss anything. So again, we're going to say no to that. Is this more than 75% of the useful life? Well, 5 out of 6 years, yes. So yes, it's a finance lease. Yes, because greater than 75% of useful life. The lease term, my writing is so good, so our lease term is more than 75% of useful life. It's 5 out of 6 years. Therefore, it is a finance type lease. It says calculate the initial lease liability and the right of use asset. We got to figure out the present value of these payments. That's really what we're after. And so because of that, we could do like 4 different calculations. So this is $20,000 divided by 1 plus the discount rate, 1.08 to the power of 0. And you'll find that's just $20,000. This is divided by 1.08 to the 1, divided by 1.08 to the 2. And you could do that, right? Just 4 of these calculations. But I think we should do PV of an annuity. If you have a finance calculator, you can do that. I'm going to do it by hand. And the formula is PV equals C, which is our payment amount, plus, I don't know why it's C. It's just what I've seen in finance books, times 1 minus 1 over 1 plus R, which is our discount rate, to the T, number of periods, all divided by R. So I know it seems complex, but I've got it memorized. I'm not a genius, that's for sure. You are probably seeing that. Let's go ahead and solve then. So C is the payment amount, $20,000. Times 1 minus 1 over 1 plus R, so that's 1.08, to the power of T. Now, how many payments are we discounting? It's a 5-payment thing, but we're only discounting 4 because this payment doesn't need to be discounted. We'll add it in at the end, but it's 1.08 to the 4th power to get our discounted cash flows, divided by 0.08. And let's do the math. Clear. What is going on here? 1.08 to the power of 4, x to the y 4 is 1.36. So I'm doing the 1.08 to the 4th power. Then I go 1 over x. I get 0.73. Then I go 1 minus that number. So I put in as negative plus 1. So my numerator is 0.26. I got to divide that by 0.08. I get 3.31. I multiply that by 20,000. And it's $66,242. That's the value of these 4 payments that I've highlighted in red. But what's the value of this $20,000 at time 0? It's $20,000. So I'm going to add $20,000. So 66,240, we'll call it 243. plus 20,000 is at 86,243. That's the present value of my future payments, and that's the value of the equipment. It's what I'm paying for the equipment. I'm paying $86,000. I pay $20,000 today, and then $66,000. That's the present value over time. So I'm paying $86,000 for this equipment that needs to land on my books. Therefore, that's what we put it on the books for. So what's the journal entry look like? Well, we're going to debit on Jan 1, 2031, we're going to debit right of use asset. That's the American terminology. I like it, actually. And it's just saying this is an asset. We're putting it on our books, but we don't own it. Technically, we're leasing it. Right of use asset, 86,243. We are going to credit cash, of course, $20,000. And we're going to credit the lease liability for the amount we owe on our lease, which is just like the balancing item here. It's like, well, it's the 4 future payments that are going to come out, which is 66,243, the amount we had calculated earlier, net of the cash. So there you go. That's how we solve it the finance lease way. And now it's the same under IFRS, same under US GAAP. Canadian GAAP will use slightly different terminology here, but if you don't need that, you can say goodbye. I'm trying to get out of the way of my numbers. But for you Canadian Gappers, it's pretty simple. We just don't call it right of use asset. We just call it equipment under lease. It's just like, might as well be the same thing. Under lease. And we call cash cash, of course. And rather than lease liability, we call it a lease obligation. But for my money, it really doesn't make a huge difference between the two. There you go. We've solved 19-2A. We've done it 2 ways. If you made it to the end, thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. The next video in our series is right up here. And if you want a supercut of all of the videos in this series, that's the one down below.